All right. Well, good afternoon, everybody. We're coming full circle here. I believe I started class yesterday. Was that last week when we began class? The semester? I think I opened with a Sinead O'Connor song. All right, so coming full circle here. This song's about divorce, but this is kind of our divorce today. So hopefully it's not the last day of our acquaintance. So I'm going to get distracted with something we're going to do to close class today. So I want to begin with my ending. So first, I just want to tell you, I don't know. I want to tell you some. Let's get the sadness out of the way first. So the other day, I had mentioned that the university and our department lost a student, and I didn't feel at liberty to say who it was because it was fresh and new, and I didn't really want to be the one to announce the name, but it's okay now. And her name was Erica Cox. And if any of you know Dr. Marlo Davis, are any of you in her class or were in her class? Okay, so the class I just came from, she's not having class today, but that student was in that class that would be in there right now. And so that was a tough day on Wednesday. I understand for Dr. Davis. And I just want to share with you, I'm going to take the liberty to share this with you. Dr. Davis, if you know her, she just learned this morning that her stepfather passed away. I don't know if you're in her class now. I don't know if she's been sharing that news with you, but just months ago, he was initially diagnosed with cancer out of the blue just surprised you have cancer. And he had a procedure earlier during a surgery to remove just a portion of his colon. While they were in there, they realized, we got to take the whole thing. They took his whole colon and discovered that it had spread to other organs. And she was just there this weekend for Thanksgiving, fortunately, so she did get one last time to see him. But this was a total shock. I mean, he just started his first day of chemo on Monday. So they knew the end was probably, he was probably, I don't know, months, 2 years to live maybe. And so he died today. So if you know Dr. Davis, I think she would appreciate your condolences. And if you reached out to her, I think that's totally acceptable and appropriate. So consider that if you know her. And again, my sympathies if you knew Erica. A student in that class told me that she recently had worked at the zoo, and I'm not sure if she was still working there or not. And he told me that yesterday, and I was like, oh gosh, our department had a function there last night at the zoo to see the Festival of Lights. We met there, and just how I don't know, coincidental that was. So anyway, if you're struggling with that loss or any others, I just want to remind you of the resources, wonderful resources that we have, and to reach out to people in need, like your friends and others who might be in need right now through Erica's loss or your own. Dr. Marlo, reach out if you can, reach out if you need assistance, okay? You're not alone, and don't let people be alone. It's tough. The holidays are always said to be the toughest time of year to lose somebody, but it's always a tough time to lose somebody. There's no good time of year. So anyway, that's out of the way. I want to say my farewell to you. It does feel, this semester just ripped for me. I just literally feel like I was just coming in here to introduce myself to you just weeks ago, and here we are. So this is our last time together in here. I just want to thank you. I appreciate you all. I think marvelously of you all, and I'd keep your chins up and your motivations up this week and next. Don't doubt yourself now or ever. Okay, you guys are amazing. All right, every single one of you. And I'm going to misquote a piece of graffiti that's on the Roebling Bridge on the sidewalk that I've seen recently, and it says something like, be kind to yourself. You did the best with who you were at the time. And I was like, that's marvelous advice. I got to remember that if that's what it says. So just be kind to yourself. Be patient with yourself. and just know you're doing great things. And if you're at an ebb right now, you'll bounce back. You'll do great stuff. So just know that some of us are rooting for you. All right. It feels like your professors, it's us versus, it's you versus us or something like that this time of year, but it's not. We're on the same team, all right? So go Bearcats, okay? I don't know what else you might take with me, but I hope to see you on another roster. If you haven't taken Psycho-Bio, I got 2 sections of that next semester, and one's online and one's in person, and I used to teach like up until, I don't know, the last year I used to teach personality pretty regularly, but I only get my semester one at a time, so I don't know what even the summer, much less fall, holds for me. I just know I got 2 Psycho-Bios next semester and an intro, so hopefully Psycho-Bio fills your needs, and I'll see you next semester. If not, I hope some other future. Anyway, I also want to share this little, I always share this on the last day that, in my opinion and my philosophy, this isn't a contract between you and I this semester, such that, in a week and a half, when I finally submit a course grade for you, I'm done, we're done. That's not how I think about this. I think of myself, if you want me to be, I'm your professor for life. And not just your life here at UC, but as long as you want. It breaks my heart that you guys don't do Facebook anymore or anything that's like substituting for that. What are we gonna do? What are you guys gonna do for longevity? Snapchats and all that shit are like come and go, and it's like there's nothing that lasts, all right? How do you maintain relationships online for a long time with people? You guys don't do email, and you don't do Facebook anymore, and Instagram's the closest thing, but that's just sort of like, hey, here's a picture. Get back on Facebook, right? Seriously, what do you guys project is going to be a way that you'll keep in touch with people online, social media? Is there anything that's like working in that regard? Am I right? There's nothing, is there? So majority of my Facebook acquaintances are former students going back to the 90s, all right? And so I got none of you on there, now. I mean, it's like, I don't know. Look me up. I'm on there. So join Facebook just to be with me, all right? So come see me. Come find me. Remember what I keep telling you. Get to know your professors so that we get to know you, all right? It doesn't, this has been an open invitation, not just for this class. Don't just seek your professors out because you have questions or are struggling with material, and then don't go if you're fine and don't have questions. We're not here just for help, class help. A lot of you don't need any help. Don't let that be the reason why you don't go. So just come visit with your professors, make sure they get to know you. I've gotten recommendation requests in the last few weeks from students I don't know, all right? Like names, I don't know who this is. I look at my records like, oh, they took an online course with me once. And I was like, Someone else wrote me and asked, I didn't have a class with. I'm not a supervisor in any way for them. It was like, I've met you once. It's like, I can't write a letter for someone I've met once or twice. Help me help you, all right? Not just me. Get to know your professors so they get to know you. So pop in and say hi to us, okay? So how many of you are graduating next week? Anybody? Oh, that's right. I knew you weren't. I always see you right in the front. I'm sorry, what's your name? I'm sorry, I can't remember your name. Huh? Christina, congratulations. Look for me. I'll be watching you guys go. I'll be on the side of this. They regulate us faculty like, don't let the students see the faculty. None of us will be there, but I'll be there. There's 2,000 or some faculty here. Last time I went, there were 12 of us. But I'm there, all right? So when you go across the stage, I'll be right there, and I'll be in the aisle giving you fist bumps, all right? So then come find me for a photo. So Taylor is this TA for this class, and she's been here more than most of you have been. So Taylor, congratulations. Thank you for everything. Thank you for being my student. Thank you for being this marvelous TA. And come find me on next Friday morning, and I want to meet your family. Your family will be there, I bet. So afterwards, let's text each other. We got to get a selfie together. It's too hard beforehand probably, but in the chaos afterwards, let's go. All right, it's you too. And the rest of you, I'm looking forward to your day across that stage, all right? Chances are I'll be there, one of the only 12, all right? So, and if it's not our stage that you cross, I'll be just as proud of you and supporting you and cheering you on, all right? And if you don't ever cross the stage, I'll still be cheering you on and supporting you, all right? That doesn't define my relationship with you, that you stay and finish. All right, those are my goodbyes. So, what's this? Oh, old-fashioned. That's not what I'm going to talk about right now. I'm in the wrong place. So, I know, I can feel it too. Your lids are screwed on tight. No more material. So I'm not gonna plow through a whole bunch of PowerPoint slides with this last chapter. Is that okay? You guys cool and okay with that? All right. Oh, one last thing I got to say because I'm thinking about it and I'll forget otherwise. Please be patient with us TAs and me. All right. We'll get your stuff scored if it's not yet scored and updated and all that. You're on top of it. All you lucky ones would tell. You're like totally on it. There's a few others that I think I'm not sure if your TAs have gotten to that stuff yet. And I, of course, will. Oh, and I keep forgetting to tell everybody, don't turn your video off after you get a score. I got to see it, and I won't see those things. I'll start this weekend or continue this. I've been looking at a few here and there, but next week and actually the week after are my Netflix binge days where I'm going to be watching 500 of those videos. Okay, so even though you got a score, don't turn them off. If you already turned it off, put it back up. If you have it on YouTube or something, you disabled it. I need to see it too. All right. I used to threaten, like, if I can't see it, if it's gone, I'm giving you a 0. I'm going to take whatever you got, put a 0. So put it back up if you don't. I don't know if I'll do that, but please put it back up if you took it down. And don't take it down. All right. I'm going to just say a few things, and then I got like a little surprise for you. All right. So, and I'm not going to wind up talking about sense of smell any longer than we did already. So, these are the so-called, the original 4 tastes that the primary tastes that we have, and then over the years they've added this umami, savory kind of primary taste that we have. So these are, of the tens of thousands, maybe a million or whatever, individual tastes that we can actually perceive. The vast majority of them are either all smell or combinations of taste and olfaction, combining together to give a smell. And you already know that from your days of having colds, or how many of you, I don't care if this is a personal question, how many of you lost sense of taste completely because of COVID at one point? That was a phenomenon with COVID, okay? So a lot of people completely lost their sense of taste. How many of you have just had it diminished from a cold or something before? Okay, I mean, you kind of get that, right? So, right when you're all stuffed up, food just doesn't taste right because it's not getting up to the olfactory system and you're only getting these, primary tastes. Lots of mythologies about these and so-called maps of the tongue where supposedly different parts of your tongue perceive these better. Bullshit, they're distributed all over, so there's no salty spot, sweet spot on your tongue and so on. Okay, so here's a little bit about how they work.
You bite into a healthy snack bar. It tastes pleasantly sweet. And, of course, you've got your taste buds to thank for that. And not just your taste buds, but the sweet receptors on the tips of those taste buds, which are sending a message you naturally perceive as sweet. But what if you could make healthier foods with less sugar and fewer calories, while maintaining the great taste experience of sweetness that everyone loves? It's a whole different approach from using artificial...
I gotta introduce this video, I'm sorry. This is, I already forgot the company, they'll say it. This appeared a few years ago and then vanished. All right, so it's a kind of a commercial for a product that must not have gotten approval. And I just, most recently, I don't know, last semester I looked it up to see like, hey, whatever did happen to this company? And it just disappeared. But I still love the video. So the video is pretty informative. So their product either got completely changed names and I can't track it down anymore. You'll see what I'm talking about. Or it just never got approval, but it's still fascinating.
Artificial sweeteners. It's about boosting the perception of sweetness in a product through the natural function of the taste receptor. And it's the idea behind Sonomics flavor boosters. Sonomics flavors have gone through robust safety testing and have been approved by regulatory agencies around the world. They've been used in foods and beverages enjoyed by millions of consumers in more than 30 countries since 2007. Sonomics flavor boosters are not sweeteners. In fact, they have no taste on their own. Think of them as a dial that can turn up the volume on the sweet signal being sent by your taste receptors. So, how do they work? Let's start with the taste buds, which are located throughout your tongue. Zoom in on a taste bud and you'd see that each one is comprised of about 50 to 100 taste cells, each of which is specialized to recognize one of the 5 primary senses of taste: sour, bitter, salty, savory, and sweet. Zooming in further on a sweet cell, we can see that the tip of each cell has proteins that work as receptors for things that taste sweet, like sugar. The sweet receptors are hinged like a clamshell, and when they interact with sugar, the receptors close tightly, leading to a sweet sensation. Our approach is to incorporate a sweet flavor booster into a food or beverage that contains a lower amount of sugar. In the presence of the booster, the sugar interacts with the receptor more effectively, resulting in a stronger sweet taste. Even though there's less sugar, the majority of the sweet receptors are activated, and the taste perception is strong, just like a full sugar product. This boosting effect is a naturally occurring human taste response. That's the science behind our sweet boosters. We can also use our discovery approach to develop savory flavors, reduce bitter taste, and to provide a cooling taste sensation. It's a groundbreaking process that allows Sonomics to help some of the world's leading food and beverage companies create better-for-you products while maintaining the tastes people love. After all, taste is perception, and heightening perception through state-of-the-art taste science? Well, that's what we call a healthier way to flavor.
All right, so I'm skeptical because it disappeared, and I was skeptical when it first came out and I saw this. I was like, really? Their pitch is cool, and it's like, but, I think I probably doubt that it wound up being dangerous, but it probably winds up being ineffective because it's not our biology, right? We didn't evolve this chemical, all right? So something that's supposedly just making these neurons do more of what they normally do is going to be compensated for by the neurons, and it probably diminishes. I bet it probably just stops working after some exposure to it. So that's my hunch, all right? So you guys can Google that and learn about that, more about that. But it's a cute little introduction to the concept and to the how taste buds and those things are working. So couple of, just a few, I'm doing what I promised not to do. I'm lecturing a little bit, sorry. I know the lid's all, but here we go. So all those bumps on your tongue that you've been calling taste buds all of your life are not the taste buds. Those are papillae, all right? You have different kinds of papillae. The most common ones are the fungiform ones, the ones that you kind of primarily see that are all bumpy. So the taste buds reside, as you learned in this chapter, within those papillae. So those are the buds, that are hidden from view, and not the bud-looking buds. Okay, those aren't taste buds. And then you have different kinds. You have filiform and foliate and circumfoliate at different regions of the tongue and working slightly similarly but slightly differently. All right. So the buds in the fungiform papillae, which again are the far most common, kind of look like this. They those cells have little heads, little tails, or whatever, little branches sticking up out of them. And if you zoom in on any one of those tips, they have those 4 and now 5. It should say 5, including umami, sets of receptors. All right. Now I just noticed this morning, and I didn't have time to learn it myself. So if somebody can answer my own question here, please do so. I was looking at that and I thought, wait a minute. Does this one cell that has all of these bumps actually have multiple different taste receptors on each one? That's question number one. Can anybody confirm that? This slide, of course, implies that. Here's why I was like, huh? Because that's one cell, all right? So how does that one cell, if it's receiving all 5 tastes, communicate all 5 tastes? That just doesn't match my hunch. So I'm admitting that I'm ignorant of this, and I didn't have time to find my own answer. So I'm going to find my own answer to this. But if anybody knows from the chapter, was this an oversimplification, or is this actually how they work? Is that your understanding too? Have any of you read this chapter yet? Are any of you awake? All right. Is it strange that your professor's standing here telling you he doesn't know something fundamental about the chapter? I don't care. It's true. All right. Anyway, I got a job to do. I got to find out. Okay. Because other receptors do like essentially one job, right? I mean, so somehow their activity, if this is how they actually work, somehow their combined activity, that cell can manage to send an action potential that the brain goes on to perceive as like, oh, that's like sweet and salty. That's salty caramel, okay? I don't know. I would have thought different taste buds are combining to give us that sensation, not just that it can be done with one. So I'm going to just drop my ignorance there and go on. Your tongue has got approximately 10,000 of those taste buds buried within those fungiform papillae, or all those kinds of papillae. And some people have more papillae. And I don't have time I'm not going to take the time to show you a video that's going to be linked in a moment, all about super tasters, all right? So I just will, you'll watch that if you didn't already, this video about super tasters and hot chili peppers and the relationship between preference for hot foods and anyway. So let me ask you this, I'll drop this on you. How many of you find certain artificial sweeteners like in Diet Coke? How many of you find specifically Diet Coke to be bitter? Like kind of saccharine-y, too sweet, but not only too sweet maybe, but kind of bitter. How many of you or find other artificial sweetened things to be a little bit bitter to you? You guys, and that's about 25% of you, which is absolutely the statistical average. About 25% of the population are what were called super tasters. You probably have more fungiform papillae than the rest of us. And that leads you to detect a chemical that's in aspartame, which is a common sweetener. You taste it as bitter. The rest of us don't taste it as bitter, all right? And so not only do you have more of those, but you also have evolved to taste that weird chemical. So now you know why you find those things bitter. It's because you're a super taster. And you probably get more burn for the buck from hot chili peppers, okay? Doesn't necessarily equate to whether you like them more or less or tolerate them more or less, but you probably get burned more by hot foods than those of us with a normal number of papillae. All right. So yeah, those taste buds then each have, about 50 to 100 taste cells within the tips that, are sitting there in the pore and ready to receive those chemicals. All right. So then the innervation of the tongue, I'm just going to kind of throw this up there and it's complex. All right. So there isn't just a single nerve. There's multiple nerves that are innervating the tongue, and also several motor nerves that are innervating the movements of the tongue, being such a complicated your tongue has got a little life of its own, right? Your tongue is all day long doing stuff that you're thoroughly non-conscious and no control over. It's just constantly wiggling around in your mouth and picking your teeth and licking your lips, and it's got an absolute life of its own, independent of you and yours, okay? And it can do all kinds of, weird little movements. So it's heavily innervated with motor neurons, and it's heavily innervated by about 4 different nerves receiving sensations from it, okay? And those things go to the midbrain, and then eventually to, guess what, the thalamus, and then out to primary cortex for further processing about taste. And one of those areas is that insula, that tucked away insula that we've been talking about in other contexts, okay? The insula is, if you guys go on to take psychobiology, you should do the insula as your favorite brain part, okay? That should become your favorite brain part. It's just a fascinating little piece of cortex. And so, including all the other things that it's involved with, like perceptions of like reward and punishment and what you find pleasant and unpleasant, and musical ability. Musical ability is people with intense musical ability and perfect pitch, for example, have a larger insula on one side, and it's also then involved in taste, all right? So, and another area nearby called the frontal operculum, all right? And then it's going to be combined, that information from the olfactory system is also going to be heading to those places and, combining to give you that complicated sense of taste that you have when about 85% of it is due to olfaction. All right, and so there's another look at that. Cool, and, peel it apart, there's the insula. And it's green like that, I promise you, it's green. Okay. All right. So yeah, see, look, it's all, higher level perception. People are starting to talk about maybe it's like one of the major places where consciousness, it's one of the consciousness engines of the brain. Like, whew. All right. So it's, motor control, self-awareness, cognitive functioning, interpersonal experiences. Interpersonal experiences like when you find, like to be included or to be excluded. The insula is processing those kinds of details about emotions and then, hunger, pain, fatigue, and taste and smell. I mean, it's like a little brain all of its own. All right. So how does all that work? How does, how does this work? Guess what? It's complicated, just like hearing and, of course, vision were. And so you now know a little bit more about, population versus specificity coding, right? Population, like for the sense of hearing, in the cochlea, we have populations of cells in there that are, vibrating best, responding best to certain pitches of certain vibrations. And then there's also specific, they're coding at different sort of patterns, different neurons collectively are firing to form patterns. And so it's both location of neurons that are firing and specific patterns that give us information about hearing and taste, for example, and touch too. All right. So yeah, some are speculating that it works a lot like the visual system. All right. Okay. Yeah, there's that chemical if you're interested. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. PTC is that chemical that's related to the one that's in aspartame that you'll taste as bitter. And here's the video you can watch about Linda Bartoshuk is this amazing psychologist. I went to a conference once and heard her talk. She's the guru of taste research, in particular super tasters. And so she everywhere she goes, I believe she has these little cotton swabs, little patches that with this chemical on it, you can put it on your tongue and test whether you're a super taster. So yes, she had them when I was at a conference and passed them around, and I'm not a super taster, so it just tasted like a piece of cotton to me. And about 20-25% of the room was going, ugh, ugh, spitting it out. Okay, you would have spit it out. So watch that on your own and learn about super tasters, and this one, the chili pepper video. So I'm skipping to this, all right? So now I'm going to show you this video, and then we're going to reenact it. So we had all kinds of visual and auditory illusions that we covered. So here's some sort of taste illusions.
When it comes to matters of taste, we trust our taste buds. But in truth, it's pretty easy to deceive them. Chef Wolf from the Arizona Culinary Institute gathered 3 unlikely foods designed to trick your taste buds.
The first way that we're going to trick our taste buds is by a little experiment using artichokes and water. The artichokes contain a compound called cynerin.
Cynerin inhibits your taste buds, making water taste sweet.
Let's see if this works.
Salute. It's almost like a little bit of a watermelon taste.
The Cinnamon actually made the water taste completely different. Next, grapefruit and salt.
Got the big
Grapefruit
salt.
is considered bitter sour, and salt can actually help counteract the intensity of bitterness.
Let's do it. Let's try it.
If my eyes were closed, I would have thought I was tasting a sweet tangerine instead of a bitter grapefruit.
What do you got?
Yeah, it almost is more orangey.
Finally, it's miracle berries shipped in from West Africa.
Miracle berries contain a compound called miraculin, and it has the ability to make, sour things or even bitter things come off as sweet. This is the definition of tricking your taste buds. And what you're supposed to do is kind of chew up the pulp and kind of swish it around your mouth for 1 to 2 minutes.
The 2 minutes are up. Now we try a shot of vinegar.
This is the most bland, boring, cheap, distilled white vinegar that money can possibly buy.
And we're gonna take a shot of it.
We are going to take a shot of it.
Okay, let's do it.
Here we go.
That tastes like Kool-Aid. That's
crazy.
amazing.
That is crazy.
I can drink that all day, and that was vinegar.
That tastes just like sweet and sour candy.
So the miracle berries tricked my taste buds into thinking it was Kool-Aid. Wait till you see what happened when we tried hot sauce
I gotta be honest with you.
at thelisttv.com.
All right, one more. Give Hank a turn now. About the same one?
This little pink tablet is made of a small red fruit called the miracle fruit that comes from a shrubby plant native to West Africa. The fruit itself doesn't taste like much. It's got low sugar content and a slight tang, kind of like a mildly sweet cranberry, but people don't eat it for its taste. They eat it because of how it makes other things taste. Miracle fruit contains a unique protein called miraculin that does something really weird to your taste buds when you eat it. It makes sour stuff taste super sweet. Like I'm talking turning vinegar into syrup and Tabasco sauce into like a super sweet, spicy barbecue sauce. Still spicy. Since miracle fruit isn't always easy to find, it has a very short shelf life, and miraculin breaks down when it's heated, people tend to pass the fun along by freeze-drying the pulp and mashing it into powder or pills like the one I have right here. So let's try this out. Fun times. So what the heck am I doing to my tongue right now? For starters, your tongue is covered in lingual papillae, otherwise known as taste buds. They're receptors that translate food chemicals into electrical signals that tell the brain what it's tasting. Each taste bud contains a bunch of taste cells with proteins that bind the molecules in food, which is how we detect specific flavors like sweet, salty, sour, and bitter. That is, unless you're eating miracle fruit, because when you chomp a berry or suck on a tablet, that miraculin binds to specific parts of your sweetness receptors. Under totally neutral conditions, miraculin actually blocks these receptors, preventing them from picking up sweet flavors in food, which is one reason why the fruit itself doesn't taste like much. But under acidic conditions, it does the opposite. It jacks up your sweet receptors, making them extra sensitive. So if you take a bite of lemon or chug some pickle juice, those acids actually cause the miraculin to change its molecular shape, increasing the intensity of its binding power and changing the shape of those sweet receptors, making them go haywire. Suddenly, all your brain is hearing from your tongue is, "That's sweet!" Just how sweet, you ask? Well, artificial sweeteners bind to your taste receptors more aggressively than natural sugars, which is why most of the powder in those little packets isn't actually the sweet stuff. One study showed that acid-activated miraculin binds about 1,000,000 times more strongly than aspartame, an artificial sweetener, and nearly 100 million times more intensely than sugar. And if a stronger bond means a sweeter taste, you can see how miraculin might make orange juice taste like maple syrup. It's like too sweet. It does not taste good, it is so sweet. Thanks for watching this episode of SciShow, which was brought to you by our patrons on Patreon.
All right, how many of you have ever had a miracle berry? Somewhere before? How many of you ever heard of miracle berries before? You have? All right. Well, I told my class when the other class, I pulled out cookies and oranges and I said, you know what I'm bringing for the other class? The cheapest, lowest grade, basic vinegar money can buy. So I brought you guys vinegar. Cups, of course. Napkins. hot sauce, orange juice. Some of it's still cold. There's more oranges. A fresh bottle of barbecue sauce. I'm starting to get nervous. Oh, there it is, okay. And some delicious lemon and grapefruit wedges. I forgot the salt. I figured some of you would have water. I wasn't going to lug water over here, but I can't replicate that one. But I also have a fresh packet delivered from Amazon of freeze-dried miracle berries. So come on up. And so, freshly opened. So here's what I have. Okay, all right. These are okay. They usually come in halves. So usually it says 15 berries, but they're usually like broken little pieces. So we'll have enough, fortunately. So I got 30 of them. They are whole. So your job is to take a miracle berry and chew it up, but don't swallow it. Just the longer you can kind of swirl it, fill your mouth up, it'll make you kind of, it's a little tart, a little sweet. You'll start slobbering all over it. Don't swallow, just swallow, bathe your tongue in, they're, like they described, they kind of taste like, a little tangy, a little sweet, little, and they're freeze-dried, so there's that, but, okay, so really, seriously, help yourselves. I'm gonna take one. And then open up and pour, or, then, I mean, how many of you are a little bit nervous about drinking a shot of vinegar? Like most basic, I'm like serious, like Kroger brand, yeah. Oh, and it works. I mean, they're not exaggerating. The vinegar will taste like Kool-Aid. And trust me, it's completely safe. They taste kind of good, don't they? So, try not to swallow, just let it. Oh, these are really good ones, nice and fresh. As fresh as freeze-dried gets. And don't be shy.
Do we swallow it and then try them? Do we swallow and then?
Yeah, you eventually swallow it, but leave it at least for a minute. All right, here goes for me. Yeah, it still has a little bit of the burn of vinegar, but it's pour it on, like, yep, it's good. It's a flavor. It's a flavor. I mean, vinegar is just really, really bad wine. What do you think? Yeah. Yeah, it still has vinegar taste a bit. I mean, it doesn't but it's definitely sweet. And we're all friends here, so if you want to just discard stuff in this half, that's fine. So. It tastes like an orange. It's nice and sweet. Pardon? How long will it last? You'll find out. It might last. I don't know. I'm gonna like 6 years. Yeah, you'll. Yeah, no. I'm thinking like 20, 30 minutes tops. Depends on how much you ate. And yeah, that's like sweet. That's like as good as an orange. It still tastes like lemon, but it's like none of the. Oh, thank you. All right. I'm not usually a huge fan of grapefruit, partly because it tastes bitter to me. A lot less bitter for me, though. Like this, I could eat. Yeah, I could eat grapefruit every morning. Is anybody brave enough? Oh, right.
Like Kool-Aid.
Oh, unfortunately, you opened the only one that was still warm. The other two are cold, or might still be cold.
Takes away the orange flavor.
Yeah, I gotta finish my. And some cookies. Cookies will probably taste like super sweet now. Yeah, that's very sweet.
Oh, that is not a good one.
It's still hot. And then I actually never had the barbecue sauce. That should just taste like super sweet barbecue sauce. I mean. Here, everybody else wants barbecue sauce. This is definitely the weirdest taste party you've ever had, like after class party ever been to. That was just hot sauce. Pretty sweet. I didn't pour enough in there. Take this off.